There comes a point in your life when you realize this truth. Your reality is not shaped by your circumstances only. Your reality is shaped by your beliefs, the ones that you repeat, the ones that you inherited, the ones that you never questioned, and the ones that have quietly directed every decision you've made. What you attract, what you tolerate, what you dream of, what you believe you're capable of, it all follows the blueprint of the beliefs that you're holding about your abilities to achieve and create a life that feels really good to you. Most of us walk through life thinking our thoughts are just random. We let thoughts just run in the back of our head by default, but they are not. Those thoughts are creating momentum. And every thought that you have becomes a word. And every word that you say inwardly to yourself or outwardly becomes a behavior. And a behavior becomes a habit. And a habit becomes your value. And your values become your destiny. Gandhi said that, and he was right. But here's what most people never learn. It's the beliefs that you have that are creating the life that you're living right now. And you can create new beliefs that build the life you really want. You are not stuck with the script your past handed you. You are not obligated to replay the same fear loops, the same limitations, the same not enoughness that was stamped into you before you even knew who you were. You, my friends, can rewrite all of it. You can rewrite it through intention. You can rewrite it through vision. You can rewrite the script of your life through spoken and written words when you practice every single day. It's a 2-minute daily practice. When you rewrite through what I'm going to teach you today, which is called affirmations. When you write affirmations, they rewire your subconscious mind and create new neural pathways that say, I am capable, I am worthy, I am attracting, I am becoming, I am creating a life that aligns with my highest potential. Because the moment you shift your beliefs, the world shifts with you. Your opportunities change, your energy changes, the way people respond to you change, what you attract in your life changes, and your entire life trajectory begins to bend in the direction of the person you are becoming. Nothing is more powerful than a belief that you choose on purpose. And in this episode, we're going to dive right into that on the She Finds Joy podcast. I'm Kim Strobel, and this is She Finds Joy. Hello, friends. Happy to have you here. And let's just jump right in. In the last several episodes, we've been talking about the power that our beliefs have over our lives, and that these beliefs are driving forces on what we're attracting in our life, what kind of experiences we're having in our lives, our ability to achieve the goals that we want to feel, and the feelings that we want to feel more of in our lives. And so, in the last probably 4 episodes, we've been building the momentum around understanding the subconscious mind, which drives 95% of how we show up and operate in this life. Everything from your ability to get your health and fitness under control, your ability to attract a partner that is worthy of you, your financial abundance. Our thoughts are turning into, there are beliefs about ourselves, and those beliefs create our reality. And in fact, I'm going to share this quote with you from Gandhi. And it says, keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. And keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. And keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. And keep your habits positive because your habits become the things that you value. and keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. That was Gandhi, folks, and he knew what he was talking about. In these previous episodes, we've talked about that there's this invisible energy force around each and every one of us. And that energy force, when we tap into it, offers infinite possibilities. But it starts with your beliefs, tapping in to your potential and making your life work for you by being a co-creator of your life, using universal intelligence, the ability that your thoughts create your reality. And this belief is very, very empowering because it puts you in control of your life. You are the master of your life. And so what you believe will come true for you because that is the energy that you're giving out. That is what you are attracting. Again, I'm going to go back to if you wake up and you have something bad happens and then something else bad happens and then you're having another bad thought and then you're ticked off at the world. So you're having 15 more bad thoughts. And then because of those bad thoughts, you're attracting more and more evidence that this day is going wrong. You're creating a lot of that and we don't realize that. And so again, understanding that when you give out positive energy, when you choose higher frequency vibrational thoughts, then you will get much of that back. And so I think that we can all kind of take our life to this higher level of consciousness. We can become co-creators with this universal intelligence that understands that your thoughts become your words become your behaviors become your habits become your values, and your values create your destiny or the reality in that of what you live. And so when we go back and we think about how do I change these beliefs, right? This is what you've been wondering the whole time. How do I change the beliefs that I'm holding about myself? How do I extract these old tapes that run in my mind that says, you don't have the skill set, Kim Strobel, to ever become a best-selling author. You don't have the skill set to create and launch a very successful business. You don't have the skill set to attract a wonderful partner. These are all the thoughts that we have, which are these internal belief systems that show us over and over and over again why we're attracting the same BS in our life over and over again. Hi, friends. This is Kim Strobel, and I'm interrupting your podcast with this quick announcement. I've been getting several requests every week from healthcare organizations, prisons, the FBI, banks, healthcare institutions, and of course, schools and school conferences about keynoting for them. And I think the reason for this is many of us feel like we are victims to our lives, the overwhelming stress, the life circumstances that can take us away from being the best version of ourselves in every area of our lives. And I think that's why I'm getting called to speak at all of these various organizations, because we know that when we learn to prioritize our health and happiness, we move the needle in every area of our life. We are able to show up and productively be better in our jobs. We are able to show up as mothers, fathers, friends. Our health and fitness journey begins to look differently when we actually learn how to prioritize our happiness and well-being, when we can get those outer results. And so if you're interested in having me come do a keynote, if you're a business or organization, you can reach out to kimstrobel.com. And if you're a school or a school conference, you can reach out at strobeleducation.com. And I would love for you to pass my name to whoever is in charge of bringing speakers to your place, because I promise you what you will learn, and what I know for sure is that when we learn to prioritize our happiness and well-being, we elevate every single area of our lives. And so I always tell people the work of my life has been to extract these old belief systems that were formed in me from a very young age and download new belief systems. And today I want to show you one way that I've done this for years. And so it's called an affirmation. Okay. It is a sentence that you think, that you write, that you feel over and over and over and over again. And what that does is that mantra or that phrase that you're repeating, it creates a new neural pathway between the neurons in your brain. And so your neurons start to communicate differently. And so what you need to think about is again understanding that we have to create those new neural feedback loops in what you're downloading in your brain. And so I want to tell you and walk you step by step through that process today. And that first step for creating an affirmation is you need to think about what is it that you want more of in your life? Do you want health and happiness? Do you want a stronger body? Do you want to attract a wonderful partner? Do you want a healthier and happier marriage? Do you want abundance, prosperity? Like what is it? What feelings do you want? And what goals do you have for your life? And so I always tell people that when you write an affirmation, you want to write it in the present tense. Okay. So you want to describe what it is that you want as if that particular thing is already coming to you, as if you've already accomplished it. Let me give you an example of this. Um, Years ago, when my husband and I lived paycheck to paycheck, we had maybe $800 in savings in an emergency fund. We had credit card debt. And I drove a vehicle that I loved because it was $2,000 and it was paid for. But it ran well. It was old. It didn't look the best, but it was paid for. And I remember thinking, you know what? I I want to attract more abundance in my life. I would like to have, in fact, I'd like to have this Lexus SUV someday, and I'd like to have this big, beautiful brick home. It's okay to want material things too. There's nothing wrong with that. And so I created a vision board and I placed items and feelings on that vision board of what I wanted to attract in my life so that I was constantly getting downloaded these images. And I would look at those images. I would look at that house and I would picture my family living in that house. I would picture the feelings of abundance and coziness and beautifulness around me and spaciousness around me. I put a picture of a vehicle on there. And here's the secret about the law of attraction is you don't base what you can achieve or accomplish on your present tense. That is not where the magic happens. You have to trump that. You have to believe in the uninvisible, or you have to believe in the invisible. And so you have to act as if these things are already coming to you. You don't have to know exactly how, and you do have to take action in your life, but you begin to hold a vision of what it is you want for your life. You see images and pictures of that vision, and then you do that self-talk or this affirmation work that I'm getting ready to talk to you about. So I've been doing affirmations for like 20 years. And so here's what I want you to remember. When you write out an affirmation, you must use the present tense. You must act as if it's happening right now. For example, one of my affirmations is, I am happy and healthy, stronger and stronger, and kinder every single day. That's one of my affirmations. I am, I am, I am. I'm holding the present tense. I'm starting with I am. You don't have to start every affirmation with I am, but that is a way to hold the presence of that. All right. I am thankful for this beautiful business that I am now creating. That would be an example. I am choosing healthy, nutritious foods to fuel my body. It doesn't matter that I ate three cupcakes yesterday. It doesn't matter because this is what I'm creating from right now. So you're going to start with the words I am or something that gets that in the present tense, okay? And then you have to make it positive. You have to affirm what you want and not what you don't want. So for example, if you want more money, you don't say something like, I am no longer living in debt. First of all, just having the word debt in the affirmation is a negative connotation. That is not what you want to be feeding your brain. That's one example. So instead of I am no longer in debt, it might be I am experiencing greater levels of financial freedom. Do you see the difference? I am living in debt versus I am experiencing levels of financial freedom. I'll give you an example of how I had a negative connotation to one that I wrote. When my son was in college, he took vaping on, and it just killed me. I I never thought my son would be a vapor, even though he's a great human being. He was highly addicted to it. We knew how harmful it was for his lungs. He had to have a jaw surgery. He didn't come out of anesthesia for an extra 45 minutes because he had been a vapor. Like, I had lots of fear around whether or not he would ever stop vaping. And so I created an affirmation that said, Spencer no longer vapes. Well, first of all, you don't want the words no or not in it because those are not positive words. And then again, the word vape is a negative connotation. And so I've now rewritten that affirmation that says Spencer is making strong decisions regarding his health, wealth, and happiness. Do you see how that feels much, much better? And so again, 3 simple things. Start with I am when you can. Make sure you're in the present moment, like you're writing it in the present tense. And 3, make sure that it is positive. So right now I have 11 affirmations that I write every single day. I write them every single morning after I do my gratitudes. I immediately go into my affirmations, and I will share some of them with you. My first affirmation is I am experiencing a complete healing. Because I'm somebody who has struggled with anxiety and panic disorder. And instead of writing, I no longer have panic, that would not be a good affirmation. I got the word no in there. I got the word panic in there. Instead, I am experiencing a complete healing. And then I also verbally say the words, thank you, Jesus, after each affirmation. It's sending it out to universal intelligence, to Jesus. The second another one that I write is I am increasingly magnetic to money, love, abundance, and prosperity. Another one that I write is every day I am getting stronger and stronger, happier and healthier, kinder and kinder. A fourth one I write is I am awakened to the greatest potential and possibility within me. Another one I write is I am shining my light as far as God sees fit. I'm just giving you a couple of examples of affirmations that you can write. But again, don't make them too lengthy. Be very specific, right? Don't just say healthy. I want to be healthy. That's too broad. And if you can, I want you to try to include at least one feeling word, like happily or peacefully or loving or secure, and choose a feeling word when you do this. Now, I write these every single day. I write them because I'm downloading them into my subconscious mind. And because they're in my subconscious mind, I'm re-downloading my beliefs about what is possible for my life. And every day I write them. I've been doing it for years. And sometimes I adjust them. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't really need to write that one anymore because that's already come to fruition. That's already happening in my life. But this is one way I can give you to rewrite those old scripts. So you want to think about what is it that you want to attract in your life? How can you write a simple statement that starts with maybe I am, and keep it in the present tense and keep it positive. And you can write these in the morning. You can write these before you go to bed. You can verbally say them to yourself, although I believe when you write them, you download them even more into your subconscious mind. I'm telling you, it sounds woo-woo, but affirmations work because it helps you rewire old beliefs. And once you're pinging the subconscious mind repetitively over and over and over again, what happens is the subconscious mind starts to believe it. And when the subconscious mind starts to believe it, that's when all of a sudden you are attracting miracles into your life. Thank you so much for joining me on the She Finds Joy show today. I'm truly honored that you chose to spend your time here with me, my dear friend. If this episode brought you encouragement or a fresh perspective, I would be so grateful if you took a moment to leave a review. Just head to kimstrobel.com/review. And what it does is it helps more people find these important conversations. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Thank you again for listening in. I am so very grateful, my friend, to walk this journey with you. I also want to encourage you to share this episode with everybody in your life you care about. We all need encouragement and real talk. Thank you for listening and watching. I believe in you for being able to create a life that feels good from the inside out. Remember, you are deserving of joy and happiness.